The history of Back to the Future in video games has not been a pretty one. And so my mandate to Telltale when they said we're going to do Back to the Future is this game cannot suck eggs.
I was aware of his frustration at previous attempts at making a game. Definitely, like the first time we met, we talked about that. You know, with Telltale, our process starts with the story and the characters, and we apply the story mechanics later. And I think that people were really excited about the potential of where this could go because we really want to protect the license. And, you know, also for us, like getting Bob Gale's sign off was everything.
There's never going to be a Back to the Future Part 4. We're not doing that. But Telltale's Back to the Future game is pretty close to what a Part 4 could be.
Making a Telltale game is sort of modeled after the TV episodic model where we, instead of telling one story at once, we tell a bunch of stories that are all connected over the course of a season. So in Back to the Future's case, it was 5 episodes. So first we figure out like the really rough story arc, and that's kind of where everything starts.
We would have roundtable meetings with the Telltale guys would come down to LA. We got to talking about things. I proposed that we go back into Doc Brown's youth because this was an idea that Bob Zemeckis and I had way early on when we were trying to figure out what Back to the Future Part 2 was going to be about.
And instantly, like all of the fans in the room just went, yeah, that's why we should do this. That's the story we want to tell and explore. And then it was all just a matter of, okay, well, we have this basic idea. How do we get the player involved? What is, you know, obviously we want it to be a Doc and Marty story. That was kind of the core of what the films are. And so we started there, came up with the problem for the whole series of Doc getting stranded back in time. Then we go in and start actually kind of creating the concept art. I remember seeing that first Marty sketch was another key moment in the process where we're like, okay, that's the thing we were most worried about in this production. We've got that figured out, now we can move on.
Well, the best part of the Telltale guys on the game were they were huge fans of the movie and they wanted to get it right. They wanted really to be true to the spirit of Back to the Future.
Another like really important part of the process for us was getting the actual actors from the movie to be involved. From the very get-go, when the game was first pitched, we said we have to get Christopher Lloyd. If we're going to be doing Doc Brown in a huge speaking role, it's got to be right.
I think it's great. What a fabulous idea. It's certainly timely. I mean, video games are hot, and this is great material. I mean, it should be a lot of fun.
Great Scott!
Having Tom Wilson come back for some voiceover now is rad.
Tom as Biff, episode 103, take 1.
You're lucky your old man's here, butthead!
I feel like that guy is just one of the huge parts. Like, you can't have a Back to the Future game without Biff.
He moves his neck more. He uses his... So with every character in the movie, I would think about those things. So it's there. I don't have to watch everything because I remember those cues also, the physicality. Although in voiceover it doesn't matter so much, but as you see, maybe in the B-roll, you see, I'm trying to be physical to get back into it
And then having Claudia Wells come in too, like she was, I think, right off the bat, interested as well, and heard that kind of the band was getting back together.
Jennifer? What the hell?
The coup of all coups, getting Michael J. Fox to participate and be the voice of one of the McFly ancestors.
Well, yeah, so when we were trying to get all the cast together, we spoke with Michael J. Fox, but due to time commitments, couldn't be full-time like we needed him. But we got him to do the cameo, which was awesome. And I almost feel like that was almost a cooler use of him nowadays. But then the search turned to how do we find someone to do a Marty who can just come in and be our main character, and it was a really big worry for a while.
I voiced Marty McFly in Back to the Future, the game. That is what I did.
Jesus Christ, Doc, you disintegrated Einstein!
Pressure, yeah. So to be like, oh, that amazing, iconic role that everyone loves and knows and can quote lines from, and that incredibly famous, wonderful actor, Michael J. Fox, can you just replicate that? That's what I had going on in the back of my head. So yeah, it was a lot of pressure.
At one point, we got an email from our accountant who said that she'd gotten emailed an MP3 from some kid who said he would like to be Marty in the Back to the Future game.
I heard about this. I saw a news article, Telltale Games making Back to the Future and Jurassic Park into a game. And I was like, wow, that looks awesome. I would love to be the voice of Marty McFly, but there's no way in hell that's going to happen. And at the time, Telltale was a lot smaller, so you just have to Google Telltale to get like a list of phone numbers. And Rhoda was the first name that popped up, so I called her and I left a message that was basically this nerdy, like, hey, my name is AJ Locascio, I do a great Marty. I tried to sound as much like Marty as I could. I was like, it's my density to have this role.
But I remember it going across someone's desk, them hearing this audition and just saying, man, this kid sounds exactly like Michael J. Fox when he was young.
Doc, you gotta listen to me. The bruise on your head, I know how that happened. You told me the whole story.
It was almost no discussion. It was just kind of, yeah, we heard that MP3 that I think he recorded on like a Rock Band microphone with like, it was just insane, but it was that good.
AJ's Marty McFly is damn near flawless. When I heard his voice, I couldn't believe it.
I mean, I listened to it, and if I didn't know that this was not Michael, I would have assumed it was.
He was such a crucial piece to have that energy throughout the entire series, so it was amazing working with him.
I was obsessed with the movies growing up, like obsessed with Back to the Future. So it was something that was always in the back of my head. It was just a silly party trick at, what went from a social thing to party trick to actually becoming very useful.
So, Jennifer. Uh-huh. What do you think of me?
I don't.
Working on this from a fan perspective was the most pressure I've ever felt on anything. Trying to invent a way where we can pull you along through the story and then use dialogue options where you get to choose what Marty's going to say. And I think that's the kind of hook for us, is giving you a situation and then saying, well, here's 3 different ways or 4 different ways that Marty could possibly react. If you were playing Marty, what would you do? And I think that it allows people to really author their own story.
Telltale's Back to the Future game is the only game that deserves to be called Back to the Future. It's very true to the spirit of the movies. The voice acting is terrific. The characterization is great. And with the new consoles, the game is just going to sparkle and jump off the screen.
Bringing this game to a new generation, even though it's not that old, is actually super exciting. Like getting to debut it again on all the new platforms. Telltale's got a lot bigger of a fan base now, and there's a lot of people who probably didn't know that we made this game. But it's still got a lot of the same core principles that are fun in a Telltale game. We're taking this thing that's super familiar and we're putting our own story in it and allowing you to play it. So in time with the 30th anniversary of the films, now we're getting to kind of add to what's out there in the media and saying, like, you're rebuying the movie again and watching it. Here's a game you might enjoy as well. And it kind of, watch the movies first, get back the nostalgia, and then right after the movie ends, you can pop in the game and continue the story from there.
All right, I'm ready.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Emmett Brown. I'm standing on the parking lot at Twin Pines Mall. It's Saturday morning, October 26, 1985, 1:18 a.m., and this is temporal experiment number 1. Come on, Einie. Hey, boy, get in there. That a boy. In you go. Get down. Get your seatbelt on. That's it.
Whoa, okay.
Please note that Einstein's clock is in precise synchronization with my control watch. Got it?
Right, check, Doc.
Good. Have a good trip, Einstein. Watch your head.
You got that thing hooked up to the car?
Watch this.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
Not me. The car. The car. If my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit. Watch this, watch this. What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour! The temporal displacement occurred at exactly 1:20 a.m. and 0 seconds!
Hot Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Doc. You disintegrated Einstein.
Calm down, Marty. I didn't disintegrate anything. The molecular structure of both Einstein and the car are completely intact.
Where the hell are they?
The appropriate question is, when the hell are they? You see, Einstein has just become the world's first time traveler. I sent him into the future. 1 minute into the future, to be exact. And at precisely 1:21 a.m. and 0 seconds, we shall catch up with him and the time machine.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You put your dog in a time machine right out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're going to build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style? Besides, the stainless steel construction made the flux dispersal. Look out!
Doc?
Huh, that's peculiar.
Where's the car, Doc?
It should have caught up with us 27 seconds ago.
Doc, what happened to Einstein?
No need for concern. It's probably just a minor miscalibration of the time circuits. Marty, could you get my notebook? It should be in the toolbox.
Notebook. Got it. Flux capacitor?
That's it!
What the heck's a flux capacitor?
My latest invention. The thing that makes time travel possible. In this notebook, I've detailed the nearly 3 decades of scientific breakthroughs necessary to build a working time machine. If it ever fell into the wrong hands, the consequences could be catastrophic. Let's see. Is mass equals I times Z, and E equals the square root of Z times C squared, and the flux dispersal rate is inversely proportional to the 4th root of N, carry the 9, then...
Consequences could be catastrophic? Whoa, deja vu. Doc?
Great Scott!
Doc, what is it?
I've made a horrible mistake!
Doc! Doc, no!
I'm sorry, Marty.
Doc, come back! Doc! Doc!
Marty, is everything okay?
Yeah, Mom, it was just a nightmare. I was in the past, and Doc was there.
Well, you're safe and sound now, back in good old 1986. But you'd better get up. Your father's waiting for you.
Huh?
Weren't you going to meet him over at Doc's?
Holy crap, I'm late! Dad! Are we too late to stop the sale?
Better late than never. You wouldn't believe how much rare stuff there is back here.
That's Doc's stuff. The city has no right to...
Now, son, I know you're upset, but your friend's been gone for months, and the city really seems hell-bent on using his land for that new parking garage. And, hey, is that a first edition Jules Verne?
It's just not fair. But at least things can't get any worse.
Hey, Marty.
Hi, Biff.
Come to see if the old crackpot had any buried treasure?
Nah, I guess I'm just... remembering. I miss Einstein.
Does nature contrive it so that even with a time machine, you can intervene to prevent your own conception, for example?
A fish tank? I never knew Doc raised fish. Doc's fish had weird taste in decor. Kinda like Doc. I'd better stick around. Doc might have left something important behind, and he wouldn't want it to end up at Biff's place.
Hey, let me!
Now, Biff, leave Marty alone. This is a very emotional time for him.
Oh, sure. Sorry, Marty.
I wonder why Doc didn't take any of these with him. Hey, Dad. Who's running this sale anyway?
Oh, that'd be me, son.
You? Why?
Well, once it became apparent that the bank was going through with the sale, I volunteered to oversee it in order to make sure that Doc's stuff would be treated with a modicum of respect. Isn't that right, Biff?
You got it, Mr. McFly.
What's Biff doing here? He wasn't a friend of Doc's.
It's a public sale, Marty. Everyone's allowed. Even Biff.
I'll keep looking around. Thanks, Dad. Doc built this model at downtown Hill Valley way back in 1955. The clock tower in the courthouse even works. What the? Is that Doc's notebook in there?
Hey, that looks just like the courthouse. You gotta hand it to the old coot. He was good with his hands.
Biff, can I see that a minute?
This would look great in my fish tank. Give the old carp something new to nibble on.
You know, you and my folks go way back.
Yeah? So?
So how about letting me have that model courthouse, for old time's sake?
I think I'll keep it.
Give it here, Biff.
Well, well, look at what we have here. Looks like plans for something. What's a flux catheter?
It's none of your business. Doc asked me to...
Brown's worm food, kid. But this looks like it might be worth something.
Hey, Biff. That notebook wouldn't mean anything to you. You wouldn't even understand what's in it.
You calling me ignorant?
I only want that notebook because, well, I'm sentimental. It's like a piece of Doc.
Doc's dead. Time to get over it and move on.
I just can't let you keep that notebook. It's dangerous.
What, is it set to explode or something?
Well, in a way.
I'll take my chances.
It's just a notebook with Doc's scribblings. What did Doc ever accomplish?
Nothing.
Then it's worthless, right?
If it was really worthless, you wouldn't want it so bad.
I just can't let you keep that notebook. It's dangerous.
What, is it set to explode or something?
Well, in a way.
I'll take my chances.
I'll pay you for it.
How much? Not enough.
Never mind. Hope that wasn't poison gas or anything. It took me forever to repair this thing after I blew it out last time, and now some jerk's gonna pick it up for pennies. Let's make some noise. Hey, Dad, why's my guitar got a price tag on it?
Sorry, son. Must have been an overzealous clerk. Just pick it up. I'll iron things out with the bank.
I better not crank it up anymore. I really don't want to blow this thing out again. It may not look like much, but it packs a wallop. Here's an oldie, but a goodie. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, look! It's Chuck Butthead. Let me show you how it's done.
Now, Biff, I think that's Marty's guitar.
Oh, gosh, you're right, Mr. McFly. Oh, here you go, Marty. Let's hear a few licks. Man, you kids have ruined rock and roll.
And now, something your kids are really gonna like.
Thanks for warming them up for me, butthead.
Biff, I thought I told you not to take my son's guitar.
Oh, right. Sure thing, Mr. McFly. I was just warming them up for you, Marty. Let's see what you got. Man, you kids have ruined rock and roll.
Hey, Biff. Never mind. Seems kinda empty without the courthouse. Now that is a dangerous amp.
You want to hear a number by Biff and the Biff Tones? Always happy to play for my adoring fans.
Now, Biff.
Oh, yeah. Here you go, Marty. Man, you kids have ruined rock and roll. Hey, let me try, Marty.
Now, Biff, let Marty have his turn.
You got it, Mr. McFly.
Feels like that was a lifetime ago. Actually, I guess it was. I'll probably never know what this is for. Seems kinda empty without the courthouse. Looks like a hand crank lightning rod, or maybe a lightning powered pencil sharpener. Jennifer'd like that. She's into old stuff.
You want to hear a number by Biff and the Biff Tones? Always happy to play for my adoring fans.
Now, Biff.
Oh, yeah. Here you go, Marty. Man, you kids have ruined rock and roll.
Hey, Dad. I'm telling you, this sale is a joke. Doc's only been gone for a few months, and I happen to know...
Yes, you've told us he's not dead. He's on a trip. Let's say you're right. Have you considered that this trip may not have been entirely voluntary? I hate to say it, but Doc's run up some pretty sizable debts around town. Maybe he's just hiding from his creditors.
That notebook is Doc's legacy. I've got an obligation to protect it.
Now, hold on a minute. Didn't you just get done telling me Doc's still around? Off traveling somewhere?
Yeah.
Then how is it your obligation to protect his legacy? You can't have it both ways, Marty. If Doc's alive, he can protect his own legacy.
You got Doc wrong. Sure, maybe he's not so good with money. That's just because his mind's always on bigger things. But he's still a straight-up guy. He'd never run away from his problems.
Well, you know him better than I do, son. But the bank is within its rights to sell off his stuff. Maybe you should try to find some things to remember him by before Biff grabs them all.
Do you think dreams can predict the future?
Well, you know I don't go in for that mystical stuff, but I do think they can reflect how you're feeling about the future.
About Biff, Dad, I know you're trying to help.
He talks a big game, son, but he's not so tough. I've been dealing with him a long time. Believe me, I can handle him.
So can I.
I guess you can. Okay, son, I'll stay out of your way. You know where to find me. Problem? Biff?
He's got this thing, see, and I really need to get it back.
If he stole something from you...
No, it's one of Doc's notebooks. He found it first, but...
Oh, well then I'm not sure what to tell you. I guess you'll just have to appeal to his better angels or something.
Or something. I'll keep looking around. Thanks, Dad.
You want to hear a number by Biff and the Biff Tones? Always happy to play for my adoring fans. Now watch me blow the lid off this joint.
Whatever you say. Rock on, Biff.
Oh, shit.
Doc, where are you? Doc? Einstein! Where'd you come from, boy? Didn't you bring Doc with you?
Marty?
Ah!
Marty, if you're hearing this recording, then the DeLorean's automatic retrieval feature is a resounding success.
Automatic retrieval?
In case of my failure to return to the DeLorean within an allotted time, I programmed the time machine to jump to these four-dimensional coordinates without me. As you are well aware, time travel is an inherently risky activity, and despite my elaborate precautions, there's always a possibility that I could land in trouble sometime. And that sometime is now, or then, or maybe later.
He's in trouble.
Marty, you've come to my rescue in the past, or was it the future? Anyway, I'm relying on you to do it again. Please take the DeLorean back, or forward, to whatever it is. I'm stuck in time. When you get there, I'm sure you'll figure out what to do.
That's it? Aren't you gonna tell me when that is?
Just go to the date specified on the time circuit readout under the heading marked Last Time Departed. Good luck.
Right. Last time departed. Oh, jeez. Come on. Crap! Oh, great. How am I supposed to find him now? Okay, Doc, I know I haven't seen you in a few months, but I'm pretty sure this isn't your shoe. Looks like the time circuits still work. Now I only need to know when to look for Doc. This time-traveling shoe is my only clue to finding Doc. Nah, I don't think so. Maybe not. Not sure what that... What do you know about this shoe, Einie? Great Scott! I think he's onto something! Okay, now we're getting somewhere. How's this supposed to lead me to Doc, Einie? What kind of trouble is Doc in, Einie? Why couldn't Doc have invented a dog translator?
Step away from the door!
Ah!
Now, let me get a look at you.
Einstein, come on!
Just as I suspected. Hooligans! Get along now! Scat!
I'm not a hooligan, ma'am. I'm a teenager.
I wasn't born yesterday, young man. Aren't you the miscreant who skateboards through the town square every morning between 8 and 8:30 in a decidedly unpunctual manner?
Yeah?
All skateboarders are hooligans. It's a fact. Look it up.
Can you let me in? I've got something to show you.
What is it? Let me see. A shoe? Now what would I want with a... Huh? Stay there! Leave that creature outside!
Sorry, Einstein.
Well, took you long enough.
There's a lot of stairs.
To return the shoe, I mean. I lost it ages ago. You can put it down next to the other one. Much better. So neat and orderly. I suppose you'll be wanting some sort of reward now.
No,
All I've got is tea and candy.
But...
I'm sorry I called you a hooligan. I try not to jump to conclusions, but after all, 9 out of 10 people in this city are hooligans. It's a fact. Look it up. Have a seat, Sonny. Hey! You kids! Put out those cigarettes! Don't touch those! My newspapers are in pristine condition and meticulously organized. Not about to let some street punk get jam all over them.
Is that Vice Principal Strickland?
Mother never could keep little Gerald out of her clothes. Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Ms. Pretty Whiskers is very particular about who handles her food.
Man, she keeps it hot in here.
That's the kettle. I'll be right back with some tea. And don't touch anything.
Hey, mind if I use your binoculars for a sec?
Go ahead, dear.
Man, these are powerful. I could see Biff going into the video store.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the filth that boy watches. Yeah, he's nothing but an out-of-control hedonist, just like his father.
If there's a clue to finding Doc out there, I'm not seeing it. I don't even know where to start looking. Miss Strickland?
Jack! Diane! I know what you're doing behind that tree!
Yes? Do you remember when you lost your shoe?
Shoe?
That shoe over there.
Oh, that shoe! Hi, what a nosy Nelly! No one likes a busybody, you know.
But...
Oh, fine, let me think about it. Yes, I remember. I lost it in a scuffle with a dog. Oh, when was it? Oh, yes, the day that speakeasy burned down.
A speakeasy? In Hill Valley?
Don't act so surprised, young man. Your generation doesn't hold a copyright on moral depravity, you know. Sin has been on the prowl in Hill Valley since the day it was founded.
Wow, a speakeasy. That must have been wild. Is it true they used to drink gin out of slippers like my grandma said?
Don't romanticize the past, young man. Prohibition was a time when gangsters ruled the town while honest citizens quaked in their beds.
So where was it? That speakeasy that burned down, I mean.
That was ages ago. If you're looking for bootleg hooch.
No, I'm just curious, that's all. I'm a student of history.
Student of history, my Aunt Fanny. Yeah, your generation of hooligans and slackers could give two ripe figs about history.
Miss Strickland?
Oh, video store!
Huh?
The speakeasy used to be hidden in plain sight down there in the town square. Right where that disgusting videotape rental store squats today.
So the video store building must have gone up after the speakeasy burned down.
Following year, as I recall.
What's with all these newspapers?
This is my personal archive. I've got every issue of the Hill Valley Telegraph ever published.
Get out. Every single issue?
From 1871 to the present. If it happened in Hill Valley, you'll find it in my stacks.
I guess somewhere in these stacks there must be an article about the speakeasy burning down.
Naturally. I probably wrote it myself. I was quite a reporter back in the day.
Any idea what date that article came out?
Well, obviously the day after the speakeasy burned down.
Doing some stargazing?
No, I set my sights on lower things. Is that?
Jeff Tannen! Get away from that hubcap before I call your father!
Don't let me keep you from your business.
You there! Don't even think about tossing that Kleenex on the ground!
Was that shoe the day the speakeasy burned down? But when was that? Miss Strickland, about your tea. You forgot to turn on the...
You! It's spelled with a U! You illiterate vandal!
That tea's never gonna boil. What are these?
My editorial trophies.
Cat Lovers Quarterly.
It's legitimate journalism. I told you not to touch those.
Would you mind if I stepped out for a minute? I just remembered a video I've got to return.
Do you have to go? I get so few visitors these days.
But...
And I'd hate to have to tell my brother, your vice principal in charge of discipline, how rude you were to me. Especially with graduation coming up and all.
Mind if I take a look?
Go ahead, dear.
It's in February 1932. So the fire must have happened before then. But when? I need a date.
Don't look at me. I'm far too old for you. I told you not to touch those!
I'm not leaving until I find Doc somewhere in those newspapers. That tea's never gonna boil. Excuse me, Miss Strickland? I guess somewhere in these stacks there must be an article about the speakeasy burning down.
Naturally. I probably wrote it myself. I was quite a reporter back in the day.
Any idea what date that article came out?
Well, obviously the day after the speakeasy burned down.
Don't let me keep you from your business.
There's the whistle! Surely the water's boiling by now.
Let's see. Ground broken on site of former speakeasy, singer vanishes, Hill Valley Expo delights crowd, soup kitchen exposed. Here we go. Speakeasy arsonist slain. Legal procedure gave way to old-fashioned vengeance last night when a mob descended on the Hill Valley Police Station. The suspect in the speakeasy arson case, a drifter known as Carl Sagan, was pulled from his... Carl Sagan? It's Doc! Killed by a mob. What's the date? June 14th, 1931. Jeez, I gotta rescue him.
My newspapers!
Sorry, Miss Strickland. Let me...
No! You've gotten my history out of order! Oh, do you know how long it'll take to fix what you've done? Oh, get out! Get out! Get out!
Help! Police! I'm being attacked by hooligans!
Marty! Where you been, son? And what are you doing in that getup?
Didn't I tell you? I got the lead in the school play. We're doing...
Grapes of Wrath?
Right.
Oh, Steinbeck! Who are you playing? Never mind, you don't have to explain. I'm sure whatever it is you're up to, you know what you're doing, right?
I hope so.
Hey, sometimes you gotta go out on a limb for the ones you love, right? Wish my dad had understood that. You won't stay away too long.
You'll barely know I was gone. You ready to go, Einstein? Time circuits, on. Flux capacitor, fluxy. Okay, if Doc's gonna get killed on June 14th, 1931, I'll just show up day before and get him out. I hope you know what you're doing, Doc. Einstein, where'd you go now, boy?
Young man! Excuse me, young man!
Who, me?
You're the only man in the street, and I'm looking for a man-in-the-street reaction. Naturally, you know about the explosion that destroyed this illegal gin establishment.
I read about it, yeah.
What's your opinion of Carl Sagan, the stranger who single-handedly did what the law has been unable to do for 10 long years, namely, rid Hill Valley of the scourge of liquor?
How'd Doc get himself into...
Doc?
Doc is his nickname. I'm good friends with Carl.
You are? Really? Oh, but I need an unbiased opinion for my story. Pretend you don't know him. How would you feel about his heroic act of destruction?
Well, I'm not so big on bomb blasts.
Yes, but this bomb blasted a speakeasy, the very symbol of lawlessness and corruption. You're all for cleaning up the town, aren't you? Do you have a message for the vicious gangsters who still roam these streets, no doubt plotting to corrupt our citizens with another den of booze, sin, and debauchery?
Ask him where I can get the address.
Ah, I see! Because you want to blast it to smithereens, just like Carl Sagan did. With public-spirited citizens like you around, the lawless element will be on the run in no time. Mr. May I get your name?
Yeah, it's... Sonny Crockett.
Thank you for sharing your candid opinions, Mr. Crockett. Edna Strickland, Hill Valley Herald.
I know. I met you back. I'm familiar with your work.
You read my column? How sweet! I know it's just an etiquette column, but I believe it'll lead to bigger and better... Oh!
Einstein, no. Down, boy.
Is this wretched creature yours? He assaulted me once before.
What's got into you?
Aggressive dogs must be kept on leash at all times. It's the law. Look it up.
Doc. I gotta find Doc. I guess this is where the speakeasy burned down. How'd Doc ever get mixed up in that? Bank of Italy?
How can I help you, sir?
Without any money, I don't really have any business in there. Hey, can I get some moose?
What does this look like, a hunting lodge?
I'm not so sure I want to stay in a place that welcomes transients. Wow, looks like they used a real shark. Majestic arms. Transients welcome. Hill Valley Police Station. Cripes, this place looks old, even for 1931. Psst, Doc!
Marty!
Doc!
What are you doing here?
You sent for me, Doc.
I did? When?
May 14th, 1986.
1980? The automatic retrieval system, of course. I'd almost forgotten about that.
So what's our plan for getting you out of here?
Plan? We don't need a plan.
We don't.
Not in the slightest. The police picked me up for that speakeasy fire a couple of weeks ago, but the DA hasn't got a case. They're releasing me tomorrow morning.
So basically, I traveled 50 years into the past to deliver your car?
Sorry about that, but it's so wonderful to see you. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you might want to hold off on that, Doc.
Great Scott! I'm going to be gunned down by gangsters on the steps of courthouse.
Why would they do that?
Guess they didn't approve of my burning down their speakeasy.
Very funny, Doc. Maybe now we should come up with a plan?
A plan, right. But what?
Why don't we tell the authorities?
Tell them what? That my friend from the future has proof that I'll be murdered tomorrow? They'd ship us both off to the loony bin. And trust me, you don't want to see the inside of a 1931 insane asylum.
Why don't I take the DeLorean, go back in time before you were arrested, and stop you from getting caught in the first place?
Don't even think about it. Without my unjust incarceration, the events that sent you into the past might never happen, resulting in a paradox of continuum-shattering proportions.
Jeez, we've been back together for 5 minutes, Doc, and you're already talking about the end of the universe. I've missed that.
Don't be ridiculous, Marty. I was only referring to the end of the universe as we know it.
Why don't we try to tough it out? Now that we know what's coming, maybe we sneak it past the gangsters with a bulletproof vest or something.
That might work with 1 or 2 bullets, but from the looks of this article, it appears that I'm going to be mowed down in a hail of Tommy gun fire that rendered the innocent stranger little more than a pulpy mass of bones and gristle.
Who writes like that?
According to the byline, one Edna Strickland.
I should have guessed. Hey, maybe I could talk to the gangsters. Tell them they're about to shoot the wrong guy.
I don't think the criminals of this era are going to be very receptive to a complete stranger telling them that their secret assassination plan is misguided, do you?
Well, I suppose I could just get some dynamite and break you out of jail.
No, that's far too dangerous. Not just to me, but to random innocent people in the past. The repercussions could be... That's it!
What's it?
My rocket-powered drill.
You have a rocket-powered drill?
Not yet. I haven't built it yet.
You've lost me, Doc.
Listen, a few months ago, my 17-year-old self sent in a patent application for a rocket-powered drill. I abandoned the project after I never heard back from the patent office, but the prototype should be nearly complete.
Great, I'll just run back to your lab and...
No, I said nearly complete. You'll need me to help you finish it.
How the hell am I supposed to sneak a half-finished rocket-powered drill into your cell?
Not me! 1931 me!
Wait a minute, Doc. You want me to convince your 1931 self to build a rocket-powered drill to break you out of jail?
Precisely!
Don't talking to yourself cause, irreparable damage to the space-time continuum or something?
It should be fine. I've already invented the idea of the rocket drill. You've just got to goad my younger self into finishing the prototype.
How am I supposed to convince your younger self to finish the rocket drill? Just tell him I need to break his older self out of jail?
Absolutely not. Whatever you do, you can't tell my younger self anything about time travel. I won't come up with the inspiration for the flux capacitor for another 24 years.
Then what am I supposed to...
Just be your charming self. From what I remember, going kid, so enlisting me in a scientific adventure should be a piece of cake.
Okay, let's say I go along with this crazy idea. Where can I find you? I mean, the other you.
How should I know? It was over 50 years ago. Why don't you go over to the soup kitchen next door and give my house a call? They'll know where to find me.
Soup kitchen. Got it.
Just stay away from the soup. It'll cause irreparable damage to your digestive system.
I guess I better get started. Don't worry, Doc. I'll get you out of here in no time.
I'm not worried. Once you and my younger self put your heads together, you'll be unstoppable.
McFly!
Biff? Kid! Grandpa?
That's Mr. Tannen to you, Artie. What are you doing out here?
Well, I was getting kind of hungry, so I figured I'd come down here for some free soup.
Just thought I'd come down for some soup. Think, McFly. The DA's throwing around subpoenas like Babe Ruth.
I don't think Ruth's a pitcher anymore.
Shut it. If one of those subpoenas landed in the hands of my number cruncher, I'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I could even get sent up the river. You wouldn't want that, would you? Would you?
No, of course not, kid.
All right, that's better. What are you looking at, punk?
Keep your eyes on the soup, kid.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, what are you still doing here?
Sorry, kid. I'll just run back to the safe house.
You do that. And McFly?
Yes?
That hat's too flashy. You better let me hold on to it.
Now
scram!
You got it, boss.
And don't come out until I give you the all clear. I swear, if even one of you mooks could add 2 + 2 without your fingers, I'd dump that wimp into the lake. Hey! Anyway, I'm off to make myself irresistible. Don't let anyone burn down the shop while I'm gone.
Okay. Hey, never mind. Okay. Hey, never mind.
Brown residence?
Hi. Do you know where I could find Emmett Brown?
Young Master Brown is currently tending to his clerking duties at the courthouse. Who may I say is calling?
The courthouse? Doc never told me you worked at the courthouse. Hey, how you doing, Einie?
Don't touch those! These are very sensitive legal documents. Nobody is supposed to handle them but sworn officers of the court. Judge Brown says so.
Judge Brown? Doc. Nice to meet you. I'm, Sonny Crockett.
Emmett Brown. But I am a law clerk, not a doctor. Now please get out of my way. I have important business to transact. Naturally, h2 of a multiplied by the inversion of h has to come out less than expectation value of a, right? What am I missing here? Or do we take h to h to the a multiplied by the inverse of a might well be equal to a's expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains constant and the gravitational constant is variable. Wait, is that even possible? Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's Newton. But how many newtons are required to maintain a constant mass if acceleration is reduced by the inverse of the derivative of the speed relative to the speed of light? Oh, it brings back to h.
Hello?
No solicitors!
You gonna buy anything?
No.
Then get out, bum!
I wonder who really burned down the speakeasy. Gale, Zemeckis, and Fine. Attorneys at law. No solicitors. I better not. Those lawyers sound kind of nasty.
H to the inverse of a might well be equal to a's expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains constant and the gravitational constant is variable. Wait, is that even possible? Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's Newton. But how many newtons are required to maintain a constant mass if acceleration is reduced by the inverse of the derivative of the speed relative to the speed of light? Oh, it brings back to h.
Listen, Emmett, you don't know me, but I'm your friend.
I'm not big on friends. They get in the way of work.
What's this important business you're up to?
It's a legal matter. Very complicated, very abstruse. I need to obtain 5 sets of initials on every copy of this writ of indemnification before before Judge Brown can even think of granting a waiver to the party of the first part.
You have no idea what it's about, do you?
That's how important it is.
Come on, Doc. Emmett, drop the Legal Eagle Act. I got something more important for you to do.
Mr. I'll have you know that the law is the very mortar that holds society together, and we in the legal profession are like brick masons building the edifice of the future.
Your dad tell you that?
Every morning.
So, Emmett, what time are you through with work?
Depends. On weeknights, Pop sometimes keeps me in the office till 9.
9 at night? But today's Saturday.
Right. So I probably won't get off before 10.
How about you knock off work early and I'll buy you a beer, or soda. What do you say?
Don't try to tempt me from my duty with sugary beverages. Keeping the wheels of justice turning, that's my one passion in life. Besides, if I left before 8, my pop would kill me.
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
Listen, I understand you're working on a new invention in your lab.
Invention? You must have me mixed up with somebody else. I'm in law. I have absolutely no interest in science. Or do we take H to stand for the Hermitian line operator? But in that case, H to the A multiplied by the inverse of E equal to A's expectation value. Now if H...
Come on, wait up a minute.
You again? Can't you see I'm busy?
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
See, I'm sort of in the science business myself. That's why I sought you out.
Not that I care in the least, because science is the furthest thing from my own area of interest, which is law, but I don't believe you.
It's true. I'm a scientist.
So tell me something, Mr. Scientist, from your vast storehouse of scientific knowledge.
The leg bone's connected to the thigh bone?
Amazing!
Okay, so you don't want your old man to know. That's fine. Listen, we all keep secrets. But I'm telling you, you can level with me about this science project of yours.
I am not a scientist. Go ahead, ask me what E equals.
What does E equal?
I have absolutely no idea. See? I don't know where you got your information from about me, mister, but you're wrong, wrong, wrong! Stands for the one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, that... Well, no. I'm gonna be the inverse. No.
I don't need to go in there anymore. Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Crockett!
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
Come on, you could trust me, Doc. Emmett, it's your future I'm looking out for, in more ways than one.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and science.
Oh, that word again! If you insinuate I'm a scientist once more, I'll sue you for defamation of character! Or do we take H to stand for the Hermitian line operator? But in that case, H to the A multiplied...
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Crockett!
Emmett, about your...
Don't say it! Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's Newton.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Crockett!
Emmett, about your...
Don't say it!
Psst, Doc!
Marty, have you found my younger self yet?
Well, I met your younger self.
Great!
And I gotta say, you're kind of uptight.
What?
You won't even talk to me.
I find that hard to believe. Tell me what happened.
I tried asking him about your rocket drill, but he says he's not a scientist.
What? What? Father.
What's he got to do with this?
In 1931, I was still deathly afraid of my father discovering the truth about my scientific predilections, so I carefully kept them under wraps. Prince and away.
That sucks.
It sucked a lot. Fortunately, I eventually stood up to him, but right now, my younger self probably thinks you've been sent by my father to check up on me.
What do I do to convince Teen Doc that I'm not a spy?
I'm not sure.
Why does your younger self mutter all the time?
Muttering? Why would I be muttering? I never mutter unless... The Hill Valley Expo!
The Expo?
Yes, the Expo! How could I have forgotten? In a few months, the younger me will put on a demonstration at the Hill Valley Exposition, my first public foray into the world of science. Everyone in town will be there, including a number of noted inventors who shaped my career.
So, it was a big success?
No, it was a miserable failure, but it was a spectacularly miserable failure, one which marked my transition from an amateur garage scientist into a professional seeker of truth.
What does this expo have to do with you muttering all the time?
When I was younger, I used to relieve stress by working on complex mathematical conundrums. No doubt my younger self is working on some impossible problem in an attempt to work off cerebral steam in the weeks before the exposition. What was I muttering about?
I don't know. H to the something when the inverse is something else. I'm not so good at equations.
That's too bad. I bet if we could solve my younger self's problem, he'd be more inclined to listen to you.
I still can't figure out what your younger self is muttering about.
Blast! If only I could hear him myself.
You know, your younger self seems really dedicated to the law.
It's a facade, I assure you. I had to keep up appearances to appease my father.
Let's talk about your younger self's problems later.
Okay, but don't forget we're on a bit of a deadline here.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Crockett.
Emmett, about
Don't
your...
say it. Or do we take H to stand for the Hermitian line operator? Well, in that case... H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. Now, if H stands for the one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, then naturally H to the A multiplied by the inversion of H has to come out less than expectation value of E, right? What am I missing here? Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. Oh. No. H and...
So, Doc, does this ring a bell?
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Good grief! Is that me? I sound so...
Young?
I was going to say intense. I forgot how wound up I used to get.
Yeah, but what are you muttering about?
Oh, that's easy. It's Ivanov's conundrum. Just tell my younger self that H equals a Hamiltonian operator.
Won't giving him the answer mess up the time stream?
Only if it turns out that reality is actually nothing more than a holographic illusion created by the interplay of subatomic particles on a vast two-dimensional membrane.
So...
It'll be fine.
H stands for one-dimensional harm.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Crockett!
Maybe H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
What did you just say?
I said maybe H equals the...
Hamiltonian operator?
Yeah.
Great Scott! If H is the Hamiltonian, then H to the A multiplied by the inverse of H can only be the same as the expectation value for A. That's it! That's the solution to Ivanov's conundrum, the problem I've been wrestling with in my head all week!
I'm sure you would have figured it out by yourself in a day or two. The way you figured out how to build that rocket-powered drill.
Where did you learn so much about science?
Well, it's like this.
You know about my rocket power drill? Then there can only be one explanation.
What?
You're from the patent office. I confess I didn't quite know what to expect when I sent the paperwork, but I never expected this. Welcome! I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Can I see your rocket-powered drill?
Of course, of course. Naturally, it's just a scale model, but it's nearly operational. I can show it to you, say, first thing in the morning?
Nah, that's no good. I need to see a full-size model. That's fully operational. Tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to award the patent to a competing inventor, Dr. McCoy.
It can't be done! I mean, it might be possible to construct a full-size working model in that time frame, but I haven't got the main ingredient for the fuel.
I'll get it for you. What is it?
190 proof grain alcohol. And you know how difficult it is to get a hold of alcohol these days.
Especially now that someone's blown up the speakeasy.
And besides, no way I can get off work until I've delivered the subpoena. It's part of the investigation into the business affairs of Kid Tannen. Is it vitally important you see that rocket-powered drill today?
Yes. Is it vitally important you deliver that subpoena today?
Yes!
Listen, I'll help you deliver it, and I'll see to it you get the alcohol you need. It'll help you get that drill finished by tonight. Deal?
Deal. Here's the subpoena.
Arthur McFly? I've got to subpoena my grandpa?
Shh! It's Kid Tannen!
Hey, I just saw him at the soup kitchen, yelling at Arthur McFly.
I'm not surprised. Arthur does the books for his business.
What kind of business?
That's what the DA is trying to find out.
Let's go talk to him.
No!
Why not? Kid Tannen can tell us where Arthur's hiding.
Yeah, well, he can also have us fitted for a Chicago overcoat.
I don't want to record them right now.
What the hell, Matches? You got kiwi all over my socks!
Sorry, boss.
Get out of here! How about you?
Huh?
I'm sitting at a shoe shine booth. You walk up. Either you're here to shine my shoes, or you got a death wish. Which is it?
My mistake.
Yeah, you're a mistake, all right, meathead. And keep an eye on Trixie. That broad's going all squirrely on me.
You got it, kid.
Well, you gonna stand there like an okie, or you gonna shine my shoes?
I'm looking for a guy named Arthur McFly. He's my, sort of a relative.
Well, he's my employee, and he's very busy today.
Since you're Arthur's boss, you know where he is, right?
He's at the, office.
Where's the office?
I forget.
So when do you think Arthur will be leaving the office?
When I tell him he can leave the office. Hey, you missed a spot.
Isn't that Arthur McFly's hat you're holding?
It was McFly's hat. Now, it's my peanut bowl.
Could I have some peanuts?
Why not? I'm a magnanimous kind of guy. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Don't mind if I do.
All right, break time's over. Back to work.
About Arthur McFly.
Yeah?
So, one more thing about that hat.
You're testing my patience, boy.
Could I buy Arthur's hat off you?
Mind on your work, huh? Shoeshine boy? I'm hanging on to my peanut bowl.
Never mind. I guess you won't talk about your business.
Why not? I got nothing to hide. I recently acquired controlling interest in the Sisters of Mercy Soup Kitchen.
Isn't a soup kitchen an odd line of business for a guy like you?
I like soup. Plus, I got a heart as big as all outdoors. Buff a little harder. I want to see myself in the toes.
How's that? Shiny enough?
Yeah, that'll do. Stay nearby, though. I scuff easy. Wait a minute. Didn't I see you at the jailhouse, John, with that Carl Sagan rat? I hope you weren't planning on trying to spring him, 'cause I got other plans.
Not sure what that... 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 I don't want to mess up my picture of Dad like that. Not sure what that...
No screw-ups tonight, you get me? I don't want this thing turning into another Shingle Springs fiasco.
It's all under control, boss.
Well?
About that Carl Sagan guy. I'm sure he wasn't the one who burned down your speakeasy, social club.
You're touching a sensitive nerve, shoeshine boy. A little more rubbing, a little less talking.
How's that? Shiny enough?
Yeah, that'll do.
I don't need anything in there, and I don't have any money. I better not. Those lawyers sound kind of nasty. How about Kid Tannen? What do we know about him?
He's loud, he's obnoxious, he's not very bright, and he doesn't like anybody getting in his way.
Yep, that's a Tannen, all right. This might be a stupid question, but couldn't you have designed your rocket-powered drill to run on a fuel that, isn't illegal?
Illegal? What does law have to do with science? Science has its own laws. You, of all people, should know that.
Some of us down at the patent office are wondering, what made you think of a rocket-powered drill?
Ah, that'd be Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. It was a revelation.
Yeah, that's kind of what we figured. This subpoena's for Arthur McFly?
Have you seen him?
For a few seconds in the soup kitchen, but I think he's gone back into hiding.
Brilliant deduction, Einstein.
You have to deliver a lot of subpoenas?
Father's always sending me out to do these dirty jobs. He wants to expose me to different kinds of people. All he's exposed me to is a lot of new curse words.
Subpoena delivered, or my name isn't...
Sonny Crockett!
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Einie?
Einie?
It's short for Einstein.
Einstein, of course, because he was a patent officer just like you.
Tell Ma she'll get her cut next week. Jeez.
Will do, kid.
Well?
About Arthur McFly.
Yeah?
So when do you think Arthur will be leaving the office?
When I tell him he can leave the office. Hey, you missed a spot.
Since you're Arthur's boss, you know where he is, right?
He's at the, office.
Where's the office?
I forget.
So one more thing about that hat.
You're testing my patience, boy.
I sure could go for some peanuts.
Lucky for you, I'm in a giving mood.
On second thought, I'm not hungry.
Then quit wasting my time. Shine!
How's that? Shiny enough?
Yeah, that'll do. Spread the word to everyone. No one burns down Kid Tannen's property.
Everyone it is, boss.
Well?
How's that? Shiny enough?
Yeah, that'll do.
I need to get this subpoena into Arthur McFly's hands, so young Doc will have the time to help me bust old Doc out of jail. Brown Estate, Klondike 51038.
Really? Let me see. Really? Let me see.
This notebook has all of Doc's plans for the flux capacitor and the DeLorean. I'd better make sure it never falls into the wrong hands. I love my dad and grandpa, but I'm kinda happy I get my looks from Mom.
I don't care how much it costs. I want the new place to be classy with a capital K. Got me?
Whatever you say, boss.
Well?
My mistake.
Yeah, you're a mistake, all right, meathead.
Without any money, I don't really have any business in there. Hey, Miss Strickland.
Oh, hello, Mr. Crockett. Try not to draw any undue attention my way. I'm on the trail of a hot new scoop, as we in the newspaper business say.
I'm sorry about the way Einstein lit into you back there. I don't know what got into him.
Well, I hope you've learned to keep him under control.
Yeah, I found someone to keep him distracted.
Very good. Now let's see if you know your multiplication tables.
What's the scoop?
I've heard rumors that something shady is going on at the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen. It's under new management, you know. And, oh, we mustn't jump to any conclusions. Not till the facts are in. I hope to heaven it is just a rumor. That soup kitchen is the front line in the good fight. If it goes bad, what will happen to the Stay Sober Society? Not to mention all the charitable institutions that depend on me for soup deliveries.
Did you finish the story you interviewed me for? About Carl Sagan?
Yes, but those pig-headed editors at the paper rejected it. They said my story was slanted, and that I was glorifying a suspected arsonist. As if their stories aren't always glorifying the criminal vermin that run this town. This whole thing makes me so mad I could spit. Though of course I never would. There's an ordinance against it, and it's so untidy.
You make hot soup deliveries?
It's one of my many small contributions to the good cause. Healthy bodies, healthy souls, or so one hopes. I pick up barrels of hot soup at the kitchen, and I deliver them hither and thither. Hill Valley Orphanage, the St. Francis Xavier Ranch for Unwanted Children, Foggy Mountain Home for the Incurably Insane, Shady Acres Rest Home. Oh, I can barely keep track of them all. It's a very big job.
What's the Stay Sober Society?
You haven't heard of the SSS? They do the most marvelous work, taking hopeless drunken bums and turning them into former hopeless drunken bums. I'm one of the founding members. And not to say that I was ever, well, you know. Anyway, we've always met in the cellar of the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen, but for some reason the new managers don't want us down there, so we're stuck. We've got nowhere to meet.
Hey, I can help you deliver soup. I donate a lot of time to charities.
Oh? Which ones?
The, Mario Brothers.
Ah, yes. The Italians do so many good works.
If you'll just fix it so I can pick up the barrels of soup.
Now hold your horses, let's not get overeager. I drive the soup cycle in this town, and I'm not about to turn it over to an upstart. But if you're well connected with the local charitable institutions...
Yeah?
You can let me know when they're running low on soup.
As a matter of fact, I do know a local charity that's running low on soup.
Oh? Who?
The insane asylum.
Whose inmates are crazy for soup. All right, Edna, just think of all those poor unfortunates and hold your nose. Mr. Donnelly!
Hey, cue ball.
What?
The truck just arrived with a fresh shipment of, soup.
Soup?
Well, this is the regular soup, and this is the special soup.
Right. Special.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm spicing up the soup. It's my secret recipe.
Listen, this ain't the Savoy, and we ain't here to feed these bozos no soup. The boss has got a business to rebuild, so knock off the goofing and mind your post.
All right. Just try the soup. Well?
I can see why you want to keep this a secret.
Excuse me.
You talking to me?
So this place used to be a soup kitchen.
What do you mean used to be? Despite recent changes in ownership, this joint is still available for the purposes of distributing food to the needy and the not-so-well-to-do. And no other purposes whatsoever.
Right. What's a tough guy like Kid Tannen doing running a soup kitchen?
Mr. Tannen purchased the soup kitchen from the Sisters of Mercy in an effort to repair his reputation as a respectable community figure after his fine name was besmirched by the malignant and malicious the actions of the misguided vandals that done burned down his place of business.
His speakeasy.
I cannot confirm nor deny any claims of so-called illegal bootlegging at the... Just eat your damn soup, pipsqueak.
Why's the soup in a barrel?
'Cause it's hard to ladle off the floor.
Could I have a bowl of soup?
We're a soup kitchen. What do you think?
What kind of soup is this? It tastes like...
Scrolle ribollita?
I was gonna say week-old cabbage.
Everyone's a critic. Look, all I got to work with is this 2-bit soup in a barrel and spice rack that hadn't been restocked since the Coolidge administration. What do you think I should do to perk this slop up?
Let's see. Have you tried... salt?
Salt? What, do you think it's too bland? Too mild? I didn't put too much pepper in it, did I?
I just think it could use a little more salt.
No accounting for taste these days. Hey, where do you think you're going?
The kitchen?
The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Okay, I've got some more ideas about your soup.
Do tell.
Let's see. Have you tried giving the soup a little heat, maybe?
Why, is it getting cold?
No, I mean like chili powder. Muy caliente.
Oh, bit of a tough guy, huh? Actually, I like it spicy too, but it's gotta be edible for the common folks.
Come on, a little dash isn't gonna kill anyone.
Aw, heck. You got moxie, kid. Let's spice it up a bit, shall we? The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Whoa!